Hi everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from whenever you're watching this recording from, and good evening once again to everyone that is on the platform with me right now. So, like I've been saying earlier with Didi, it's been an amazing week. We've had some good successes with our trades, and I do hope that we would have an equally an amazing week this week that we're getting into. Just looking at the chart right now. I hope I'm on the right place. Okay, from the 15th, yeah, I can see that we have a number of news activities, and as you know, news pretty much just moves the market. So I do believe that would have an amazing week as well, because I'm already seeing AUD, USD, and that is one of the pairs that we're looking to trade this week. Massive pips, lined up for us. So as you can see from Monday, we have. I'm just gonna also look at the investing.com so I don't get blindsided. So because I know what's it called now, JBP, JPY news. Sometimes you would see it on Forex Factory that it's medium impact or low impact, but on investing.com you see it as a high impact news. So let me see, economic. Is it economic? Okay, economic calendar. Okay. All right. So this week on Monday we have starting from Sunday there's a few news releases, but I don't really trade Sundays, so I'm not really gonna be bothered for Sunday. But on Monday we have JPY. I don't know why I keep calling it JPP, JPY news. But on here it shows as medium impact and low impact news. But I know that anytime you have news, JPY news, they always move. So, but on here on investing on Forex Factory, it's telling us that we have a bank holiday all day. You see the discrepancy, so you have to take notes. That's why I say you have to use these two news bodies just to be able to put things in perspective. I do think there might be bank holiday for JBP, JPY. Sorry, I did it again. Now, if that be the case, you don't really need to bother about trading anything related to JPY, except for probably the GBP, because I know that we have GBP news on Monday. Okay, we don't have GBP news on Mondays, on Tuesday, as you can see. So would that be the case? We have a Chinese yen news. I don't think that is related to us, but who knows? It may push the affect the yen as well, if indeed there is no bank holiday like this has said. On Tuesday we have on Monday we have USD news, a number of USD news, and NZD. For me, I'm trading NZD USD, so this may be good for me on Monday. On Tuesday, on Tuesday we have a number of news as well, GBP, USD news. On Wednesday we have GBP news as well, USD news as well. Let me see. I think we pretty much have a good number of USD news this week, which is good for USD, Euro USD, and GBP USD as well, and also for USD CAD for some of us that are still in that pair or still trying to trade it. And as you can see, we have CAD news as well on Friday here. But what I'm really particular about is the AUD, AEA, where is it? What's it called again? Euro AUD. That's the one I'm really particular about, because was having that head and shoulder that I looked at. We're going to look at it again later, and I have 600 and 900 pips coming on those pairs, so I'm really looking forward to it. So on Tuesday we have the AUD news, so we'll be looking forward to Euro AUD having some movements. So I'll take us straight to the pairs now. I really want to make this finish within 25 to 30 minutes. I don't want to keep us too long here. So now Euro USD, as you can see, I said I was going to show us how I draw these advanced patterns. I'm really going to do that. Please bear with me. Just haven't had time to do that, but I will do that so that we can all know how I do it, how I draw it. So as you can see, this really played out well, came into our D zone. This is our D, by the way. Let me just put that there. This is our D zone. Came into our D zone, and from there it dropped massively. As you can see here, this was our D zone. So from there, just a little push to the upside, and then dropped more than how many pips. For some of us, if we were going to trade this, the advanced pattern on its own, that's 165 pips. So yeah, but that doesn't mean it works every time. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works. So again, it's just a way of confirming your movements in the market, just to use it to confirm your other strategy that you have. If you want to use it, it's not mandatory, so that's this one. So what are we waiting for right now? I'm just going to drop onto other markings to see what I have. Maybe my chart is going to look a little messy because I haven't changed anything yet. So now this is where we are. Generally, we are in this level. We saw that descending triangle, and we expected this to happen, but well, we had two minds about it. If it doesn't come down, then it's going to go up, and sure enough, it went up, but it hasn't gotten to the level that we thought it's going to get to. It broke out, so we can call this a retest. Yep, and call this a retest. Maybe a retest, may not be a retest. So, but it's actually coming back to that level we broke out from. That blue zone, which is a buy zone for us. Or call it a demand zone. So if it comes to this level, so we're expecting it to shoot up from here, and not take us all the way back up here. But generally, this pair, what I'm really waiting for this pair to do is this. Check out the weekly. This is what I'm really waiting for this pair to do. That's head and shoulder. I don't know if any one of us can see it. So this is it. We have that left impulse. Yep, to the upside, left shoulder. The drop, then that head that has been created. So right now we're waiting for that second head. I've been looking at this for the past 2 months or thereabout. So I'm really waiting for this to come down, that to happen, and then that drop to occur. You see, so that's what I'm really waiting for. So, but all of these things that we're seeing on this other side are just the way the market does sometimes. You can pretty much just call this consolidation because it's still within this range. It hasn't broken out of this range since it got here in 2018 May, or even it's that May. Yeah, so now it's been in that range, so we're waiting for it to break out and then get to this level. If it breaks above this, I'm going to buy for a total number of 240 pips. So just watch out for that pair, Euro USD, if it plays out. Now GBP NZD, I'm not really looking to trade this pair anyway, but if this is showing signs of being a double top, if that it could drop from here all the way down, or it could just go back and get to that blue zone before dropping. But for me, if it breaks that blue zone to the upside, it renders that double top invalid for me. So I won't even look to trade the double top. I'll be looking to buy, and buying to where all the way to this level that I got to know it wicked. So if you want to take the risk of trading the upside, then you can risk it for a total number of 100, but that it won't guarantee that it's going to get there, because as you can see, it wicked here, it didn't get up, it dropped back, it got here, it got to the top, then dropped back, but these two didn't get all the way to the top. So if you want to risk it, if I were you, I wouldn't even bother taking this. Just look to sell the downside, leave the upside alone, look for entries on the downside if you're going to trade this one. But this is not I'm not going to be looking at this pair to trade it, except I find this double top, a good entry for this double top, and then I'll trade it to the downside. Now this one, GBP AUD, is part of the ones I'm also looking at, because if you can see, it broke out of that trend line. You can see what's happening. I'm going to increase that. The trend line, touch, bounce, touch, bounce, touch. Instead of bouncing, broke out of it. And then if you look at it clearly, it broke and retested that zone. It retested that zone. So for how many weeks now it's been in that zone? So what am I looking for? I'm really looking for the downside, because if you can see it clearly, it's forming a head and shoulder. See that up impulse to the upside, that shoulder, then that head. I think it was Didi that identified this one as well. So that dropped to the downside, and then it's forming the second shoulder. But again, it's like look at it as confluence. Yep, look at it as confluence. So if it breaks out of this channel, it's broke out, acted as if it's going to break. It actually broke out on what happened. It broke back in. So I wouldn't really look for a trading opportunity at this level. The level I'll be looking for trading opportunity is this level. I'll use that to not make the. I'll be looking for a trading opportunity in this level. Because already now it's broken this level and it's gone back up. So I wouldn't be looking for a trading opportunity between here. I'm gonna wait for it to break below here and then close below it and come back and retest it. Then I'll look for trading opportunity to the downside for 140 pips, but stop loss quite close, so this doesn't happen again. So that's GBP AUD. I'm not really looking to trade that one, but if I find good entry opportunity, I would trade that one. So I'm going to look at GBP JPY later, because I'm going to look at it later. It's a cleaner chart. Let me see. Okay, let me go to my other chart and look at that one. Now this is it. For this one, we did that advanced pattern again, and we are expecting this. We thought it was going to get to the D before dropping, but it kind of fell short a couple of pips away, about 36 or thereabout. Let me see, about 36 or 39. Yeah, about 35. So what we're waiting for right now is for. I never knew it was going to go back up. I thought it was start making its move, yeah. But as you can see, it's going back up. So probably it might get to a D level before dropping. That would be really good, because when it gets to that level, I'm going to look for an engulfing candle, bearish engulfing candle, and then pretty much look for another entry opportunity and then sell that to the downside. This would be a very, very good move. I know a whole number of people are really looking at for this pair. For that side, that's 200 plus pips. If you want to take that pair, let me go back to my chart now. What else? Hold on, let me see if I can find another GBP JPY, because I needed to see that confluence. That's the one. Yeah, as you can see, this one. See what happened. It broke out of that channel. I hope that's what I wanted to see. Yeah, so okay, not quite the one I wanted to see, but anyway, so the same thing. It broke out of that that channel, that triangle, and it's heading to the top. I'd already marked this since, and so it's heading to that top. So I'm expecting this. It broke out, retested. Remember, structure broke out, retested. It's been hitting that hit and drop, then it came back to that level, broke it, retested. So we're expecting this to take us back to the upside. Now, just like we are waiting for that to happen somewhere here, but that didn't happen. So now it's happening now. So it's gonna go up for a number, how many pips? Just about 90 pips. So I wouldn't really mind. Bother myself trading the upside. Just wait till it breaks down. So go back to the other side. Okay, so this is really the one I was looking for. It's really the one I was looking for. If you can see that trend line I marked. Let me see if I can show you. So that's my trend line. So it broke out of that trend line. I had that marked since, broke out of that trend line. So as you can see, it came back and retested that level. So it needs to, based on that trend line, there's a level it needs to get to. This is that level, that trend line, this trend line here. It got there and dropped, and now it's heading back there. So I'm expecting it to go all the way to that trend line, just to complete the cycle, the structure. That's let me see how many pips that is. There's about, let me take it from where it is. So, and it's pretty much almost the same pips 35 to 50, 45. So it's pretty much around that range. So it's in a way kind of confidence to us, really, just to show us that this may actually be what it's trying to do: break, retest structure, retest trend line, and then drop. So I'm going to be looking for my buy somewhere around here. Right now, I'm not going to, sorry, my sell. I'm not going to be selling this one just yet, unless there's a good confirmation for me to sell. Right now, it's still in the buy zone, so I'm just going to let that sleeping dog lie for now. Euro, okay, yeah, GBP USD. I know we just marked this one last week, so broke out of that trend line, and this is not a very fantastic pair to trade. I know DD loves to trade this one sometimes, so but it's within this zone. As you can see, there's no clear indication of what it wants to do. I would have said, okay, that's that drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back. But then look at what it did here. It broke the previous high, and acted as if it's going to go up, but it never went up, came back down. So this is messy. It doesn't obey structure, it doesn't obey rules. So it's just for now misbehaving. It did well here, it gave a double top and then dropped. So but now it's not really doing anything. Unless you want to scalp, then you can go to the smaller time frame and look for opportunities. Now it's broken out of there. Look for it to return to that what's it called now? Return to this level and then go up for. You can even try to see if you can find an inverse what's it called here? An inverse head and shoulder here, so you can trade it to the upside. So where would be your neck? This would be your neck. Let me see. This would be your neck. Yeah, so this would be your neck. So where you would find entry would be somewhere around here, somewhere around there. If you want to, unless you want to do a pre, so this is, if you want to do it conservatively, this is where you want to enter, let it break out and then retest that level. But if you want to do aggressive, then just look for an entry, then trade it back to this level, and then from there you trade it back up. So if you want to do that, but I wouldn't do that. Euro odd, yep, look at that impulse to the upside. Let me see what the overall direction looks like. Okay, so see that impulse. I think I was using this to explain head and shoulders to someone, and I stumbled on that thing. So look at that inverse head and shoulder, worked perfectly, went in and did that, and then went on to create that, and then right now is forming something similar to it. Now, for some of us that can count numbers, this is an example. So you can see that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's done 5A, B. So now we're waiting for the C leg. Yep. So now we're expecting this to come down for 600 plus pips, and then when it comes to retest this level, we trade this, we make this 600, and we trade this downside. Now look at that. I measured this range from here to here, and that's a perfect structure. It came back into that level that it's been testing before. So that's something to look at for. And then if it breaks that, it's going to go down to this level. So they might actually, it might actually have a whole month or 2 months winning with this pair. That's another 600. That's 1,000. 1,200 plus this. That's 2,100 pairs pips if you want to trade just the Euro AUD. Now I tell you the truth, you can concentrate on just one pair and and win big. I've been trading NUD USD for the past how many weeks now. I kind of jump between NUD and NZD USD and USD card, but I stopped trading that one last week. I just concentrated on NUD USD on one of my accounts. So that's the only one I'm really looking at right now. So I trade other ones on different accounts anyway, but this particular one I really I was really looking at it because it was playing out for me as I marked them. Now I don't trade NZD, but when I saw opportunity on that pair, I jumped on it. So we can concentrate on just this pair if we see opportunities to jump in, and then those would be a massive win to us. Let me see. How would you jump in this pair if you had the opportunity? Good question. Right now, look at what is happening right now. As in that zone, this zone right here, it's created the level for us to look for opportunities. So now in this level, it's ranging. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for this market to break out of this range. It weaks at one point, as you can see. So I'm waiting for it to break out of that range, to retest that range, that level that it broke out of, and then dropped. So I would already take my winning. Now the truth is this: you may not be able to win the whole of that 600. You know, some people, that's the truth. You may not be able to win it because at some point it may just go and like for instance, look at what happened. If some people was in this pair, were in this pair, it goes up like that. You would have felt when it's coming down, probably would have felt what's it called now, anxious, and then probably take your profit. You know, so but all of this, and then what did you see? It ranged a bit and then started moving up. You probably would have missed this pair. Why? Because you know, who knows, you probably would have been with that trading another pair, and then probably you saw another opportunity to enter here, and then so those things happen unless you want to find an opportunity to jump in and you already know that, you already feel or make a resolve within yourself not to leave the trade no matter what. You know, if you want to tell yourself that until it comes back to hit your stop loss, if, you know, that could be something that you want to do. That's probably the only way you might be able to win that. And another element that is in the market is that you're not sure it's going to come down all the way down here. For all that I care, what can happen? It could just jump here, give you this. It doesn't give you 600, it gives you 500, and then goes back up and then retest this level. And then what do you see? It breaks the head and then all the way to the moon. So that means you probably will have lost that trade. So what I tend to do sometimes, I may not sit down in this pair and look for 600 as it go. I could get in. I'm definitely going to go to my smaller time frame and mark out other levels that I can see, you know, so that when price gets to those levels, I can take my profit. You know, when price gets to these levels, I can take my profit and wait for different entry opportunities, you know, so that I can trade them, which is what I did for NZD USD. So that's something you might want to look out for. You know, so when that is done, also look for another opportunity to enter for the downside for this 900 pips. For this, if you could come out with 400, you know, 350 pips, it's a win as far as I'm concerned. It's a win. You don't have to get the whole 600. But this one, if you come out with 600 or 500 pips, it's a win as well. So just have that at the back of your mind. JBP, Chef JPY. Okay, I was looking at this the other time. I don't think I'm going to really bother with this one. I don't know. Most people don't trade it. Gold, I was still looking at this double bottom, but right now it's kind of broken my first bottom. So I'm not going to look for an opportunity to buy this market just yet. I'm not going to look at this as a double bottom just yet anymore until further notice. Because the rule is once this has to be longer than the first leg. The first leg has to be longer than the second leg. But now the second leg has taken over, so I won't be looking at that as a double bottom for now. Rule-based trading. Seen that NZD. So for this one, it's kind of messy. Sorry about that. But as you can see, the impulse to the downside, that pullback and then the impulse to the downside. So we're waiting for this to come down to this level and go back up. But what did it do? It broke down. You know? I caught it. I caught this to the downside. I caught it to the upside as well. I think I missed some pips here and there, but it's fine. Still looking for this to come all the way back to the downside, probably to create a double bottom and then jump. I don't know if it's got into that almost there, but it's not. It might not come down anymore, but that's not an issue for me. I would only trade it when I see opportunities. See where I have my blue line marked. Once price goes above that and reaches that level, I'm right into the upside, and then probably take profit before it gets all the way to the blue line, just in case it decides to do what it did here, get there and then drop again. But once it breaks above this is my buy zone. This is where I'm going to put in my buy and not look back. You know, so that's that. USD card, not really looking to trade this because it's all looking messy right now. But if you can look at it, see it's on that trend line, bounce on the trend line, goes on the trend line, bounces, goes on the trend line, bounces, does the same thing over and over again. So it hasn't broken through it. So right now we're expecting it to just keep doing that. So it may just push to the upside before dropping. But that said, I'm expecting generally, I think on the high side, I'm generally expecting this to drop, but I don't know how far. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's the one. I'm generally expecting this to drop because of that this pattern. Right now, I don't know what they all are called, but let me see if I can find out what this one is, because they have names. This one is on the 50. Okay, this is a bad pattern, I think. Yeah, that's a bad pattern. It's on the 50. Yeah, so delete that. So I'm expecting this to come right back down. So it may just go back up and do the whatever it needs to do, and then. But generally, I think it's coming down. But again, we will need to see a good confirmation before we can take that trade. How are we doing on time? Okay, got a few more minutes. CAD JPY. I'm not looking at that pair from now. It looks like an inverse head and shoulder, but I'm not looking at that pair. NZD, AUD, NZD. So for this one, was looking at this double top playing out, but what did you see? It broke my rule. It went above my first top. My left top, first leg or left leg, how do I call it, shouldn't be broken. If it gets broken above like this, it negates the rule. It breaks the rules. So I wouldn't be looking for a double top anymore. But as you can see, if I come down to the smaller time frame, what did you notice? It started creating another opportunity for a double top. So right now I'm still looking for a double top, but not on the first impulse anymore. Not on this first impulse. On the second impulse, this one here now creates another double top opportunity. As you can see, it's not broken above it. So right now I can look for an engulfing, a bearish engulfing candle to the downside, and then I can trade it. Drop to my smaller time frame, look for entry opportunities. But if it breaks below here, retest, I'm going to take it down. So that's that one. AUD NZD, Euro NZD, same thing. As you can see, double top, drop, double bottom. Okay, this one pretty much, you see, although it doesn't obey my rule, but kind of does the double top, double bottom thing. It played it out, but my rule is my rule. If it breaks it, I won't trade it, because that's what is going to keep me long in the market. If I don't break my rules, I don't trade double bottoms. If the second bottom breaks the first bottom, I don't trade the double bottom. A double top is the second top breaks the first top. Those are just my rules. But if I'm trading them, if I find opportunity to enter them, I will trade them. But I will not trade them as a double top or a double bottom if those rules are not applied. Why? Because they may fail along the line. So, but right now, as you can see, a double top is forming here. Again, so see that impulse, see that drop, see that impulse forming to the upside. So I'm waiting for this to go to the upside. I was actually thinking it was going to happen here. That's why you see that first. Where is it now? Oh, come on. Yeah, that's why you can see this. I thought this was going to happen. That's why you see that first line dropping to the downside. So I sell here, TP here, but what did it do? It pushed up and then dropped all the way back to that zone. So I'm waiting for this to go to that top and then drop all the way down. Yep, so that's Euro NZD, AUD, JPY, this one too. You remember we were trading this, we're trying to trade we traded excuse me, let me see if I can, yeah. So we traded all of this, then we traded this one, and then we traded it down until it did this giant thing, and then dropped to the downside. It consolidated here, so it's heading back to the top. So you can be rest assured that this may take us back to the top here. Then from there we can now see another opportunity to the downside. But then if it breaks above that, then you know where we're going to. We're going to the moon. Yeah, that's my TP right there, 88,900. So but until it breaks above that, we won't be looking for a buy above that level. We'll still be looking for a sell. So right now we're waiting for it to get to that level. Let me see how many more pips we have there. That's the number of how much, about 60 pips. So if it gets to that level, then we'll start looking for another opportunity to sell the market to the downside. What else do I have? How much time do I got? Okay, I don't think I have any more. What about this one here? What else? USD JPY. So this one, I'm looking for this to go to the upside. I think I had something marked for this one on this other side. Let me see if I did. I don't think I do have anything marked for it. I don't think I do. Or maybe I missed it. It's fine. Show an example on how to use these FIPS correctly. Okay, the sample of how to use the FIPS correctly. I'm going to show that after this session, because today is not the teaching session, but I will show that after this session so that I don't make this session too long. So, but USD JPY was, let me see on the higher time frame. Okay, so so I marked this some weeks back. I can't remember where I have that charts, but anyway, let's see. Okay, I marked this some weeks back. I can't find it, but so I was expecting this to get to this level. Oh no, don't close my chart. Closed it. Oh dear, I lost that chart. Okay, anyways, let that go. So that if you saw it, well, I know when we see the video, you would be able to see the level I was waiting for. So that blue level is where I'm expecting that to get to before a drop. What else am I looking for on this side? AUD USD. That's one of the other pairs I was looking to trade. So that giant trend line that I found on this side, broke it, as you can see, broke below it, and then came back and retested that level, and then ever since it's been dropping. So right now, what it's doing now, push to the upside a little bit. You can see that impulse, that structure break, drop and then pull back. See that giant flag and then drop again. Right now, this whole thing is can call this a pullback, because it hasn't broken this low, this high yet. If it goes and breaks this high and goes above it, then we'll start looking for an opportunity to buy the market. But right now, you can still be looking for an opportunity to sell. That's on the higher time frame. There are smaller buys and sells on the smaller time frames if you're scalping and everything. But on the higher time frame right now, generally, it's looking like it's something that's going to drop because of that leg drops. Look, I start from here, leg. They drop and they pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, forming again. So I'm waiting for this to drop again to the downside. That's why you can already see I have that this thing prepared here. So yeah, take that out so make the chart messy. So that brings us to the end of this session. So please just I'm gonna do the I'm gonna get it onto the platform. Just give it a look at and then drop your own charts as well so that we can confirm, compare notes, and tell me what you guys think as well. I will talk to you guys on the other side. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.